Hey y'all, Jedi Puka here. Today we got another Dragonheir video, and what we're going to go through today is the purple dragon and how to beat him with a free-to-play team. So for starters, I'm going to play a quick video for you guys. I got it set at 2x speed just so you can see the fight, and then I'm going to come back and show you all my people. Line up real quick. We got our tank right here in the middle, so he's going to take most of the damage, of course. Next to him is going to be our melee DPS. Then we're into our healer, next to our adventurer, giving us the ice shield. And then I have Dane set for my distance DPS. Now, what this is going to do is you guys see going on. First, make sure you use food. As this goes, because of where the tank is at, he wants to take the most damage. Then he will be next to our other DPS. So they do take extra damage on these hits that the boss is doing. However, they're far enough from the rest of the team that they can survive it, yet they're close enough together to keep gaining the shields and the healing. Same thing with the adventurer and my healer, Hexandra, over here. They're both next to each other, so they take a lot of extra damage, but they're tanky enough to deal with it. Now Dane, main DPS, set out to the side. He's positioned to where he can take all the heals. However, he doesn't get the shield most of the time. The shield will rotate between him and Hexandra, but he can stay alive out here by himself because he's not taking that extra damage. First part of this phase goes really quick. When you guys are doing this, you're trying to see if you're on time. You want to do this first phase, try to get it done right at that 8-minute mark, because you'll see where I'm at. The reason being is you're going to see this was very close at the end. We barely won this. So now we're getting into the part with the golems. What you need to know about the golems when they pop up is one of them gives the boss invincibility. It's the one you want to take off first. What I did to handle them was with my melee DPS, I took her off of auto once they started popping up, and then I would use her to target the golem that's raising the invincibility so I could take it down faster. The reason why she's positioned to the right of my tank is so that this first one, she can reach him. I played around with the positioning. When she's left of the tank, she can't reach the second set of golems for the one in the back that does the invincibility. So right here, she's going to be able to reach this first one. We can take him out pretty quick. And Dane dropping that decreased defense with his artifact, which we'll show in a little bit, helps out a ton, especially in any boss fight. Getting that decreased defense up there, that breaking through extra defense is good. His decreased attack is also pretty useful in helping us stay alive. That probably helped us a lot. Hexandra, healer, rare healer, you get her. Freaking amazing in this fight, keeping the team alive. And then of course adventurer with the ice shield like we said before. So now you're going to see the next one's coming up. So melee DPS up there, she can reach the one on the back that is keeping the invincibility up. So it's important that you can target him and take him down as fast as possible so you can keep your damage moving. That was the hardest part of this fight. I've tried different positions. I had her on the other side initially. I actually had my whole team rotated to the left with her on the other side of the tank. Couldn't do it because she just couldn't reach him, and I kept running out of time. Could survive but couldn't get the kills. We needed to get that DPS up. So with her in this position, her special's taking him down. So you'll see there we dropped him. Now we can drop the boss and go on to the final stage, the purple dragon, which is the easiest. If you can make it through these first two stages, you're going to make it through the last. Time constraints, you want to watch this stage, you probably want to have at least 3 minutes. 3.5 minutes is really ideal for you to have enough time to take down the dragon. Like I said, you're about to see this is really close. So if you're using a free-to-play team, going rares and epics, it's kind of hard to keep your DPS up and finish this guy off. I will say this is a really fun fight. Super enjoyed this. Got to give props to the devs for getting this good fight. Took me a long time to beat it using the team I have. And when I go over everything, I'll kind of explain the issues I was running into before, how I solved my problems, and managed to finally take them out. Now this part, you could probably just run full auto, get your ultimates out as fast as you can. What I did initially was I kind of held my auto to where when he drops this little move over here, drops his little diamonds. If you don't break him, he gets increased crit. If you do break him, you get increased crit. So when my specials were like close to it, I would hold them just so that I could break that and take that extra crit to increase my damage. If my specials weren't close enough to take it within like 4 or 5 seconds, then I just let my guys run, because you want the damage from your ultimates more than you want to take that out for the extra crit. And even if the dragon gets extra crit, he actually doesn't hit that hard, so it's not a big deal. Now, as we move on to the final position of the dragon, you're going to see he's going to change to where he just keeps attacking over and over. This phase is actually pretty easy, and that you definitely just have everyone running full auto. Just drop them as fast as you can. He is not too bad at all, though. Once you get a team running, he's pretty good to take out. Now you do need to level people up. I couldn't have done this if I didn't get some of my guys to 100. I tried them at 90s, it just wasn't working. Initially I couldn't survive. Once I finally got them to where I could survive, I just couldn't get the DPS I needed. And as you see there, we beat them with that 4 seconds left. So now let's go over the team. Got everyone pulled up here. The only difference since when I actually shot that video to now is that now I got my big boy here, Horus, at level 100. It's only 1 level difference, so it's not going to make a difference on that really. So Adventurer, for the artifact, we're using the Dancing Gyro. This is going to make him attack a little bit faster with his A1. He does a lot of damage with his A1, so that helps. Defense, I did an attack percent to help out because he was able to survive, so I really didn't have a reason to go HP or defense on there. Give him the extra attack, get the DPS up. Same thing with his gloves. And this dude can just in general take some hits, so it's pretty good. The helmet and weapon, honestly, I just mostly focused on getting level 16 stat completed sets to help them get a little more. Didn't really pay attention too much to their sub stats. Same thing on these. I just used what I had. Had a crit damage one with attack speed. Care about the attack speed. Don't really care about the crit damage because I'm not critting that much. Main one had a resistance. Don't really care too much about it. Unfortunately, I just didn't have anything better to use on them. Substats, I just looked at that defense and HP. Helped him out a lot. Next we have Martina. She's the one that you can get if you spend $1 in the game. I did spend $5 so that I could get her, get a few extra gems, which I haven't used yet. And I'm not going to be spending any more money in the game. Not anytime soon, not till full release at least. And if I do, very low spender, like $5 a month, $10 a month max. So real quick for her, we got the chest here, did attack percent, gloves, attack percent. You got to go attack percent. You got to be able to knock out that damage. There's no way to do this without that attack percent, because otherwise you're just not hitting enough. I tried her in HP and defense, and then I tried to only switch one out to attack because of the survivability issue. So I initially had her at level 90 doing an HP chest. She still kept dying. I went to level 100. Then I could survive, but then I wasn't getting out the damage fast enough. So had to get her to level 100, had to do that. The other big thing, as you're playing the game, you're going to get yourself some epic scrolls. I had to level her out so I could get that initial energy and required energy down so she would run through her ultimate enough to make it count. If you don't have her booked, she's not hitting it fast enough. And I think no matter what DPS you use, you're going to have to do that. Going into my Dane, same thing. I had already had him booked out, but I think if he wasn't booked, I wouldn't have been able to do this. As you saw, the time was super close. So that extra initial energy and required energy right there helped out a lot. For him, artifact, I did manage to get an epic one. I got a couple epic dupes, but it worked out because getting the Crown of the Unclean, this is the best artifact you can get that defense penalty. So every time he cycles through his ultimate, you have a chance for that. It doesn't land every time, but for the most part it does. So for him, the other things that I worked out with him, same thing, all attack percent, just pushed attack as much as we could. We got a little crit rate, not a lot, but we were able to push that up to, 47%, so not too bad. So it worked out pretty good on him. Attack on here and accuracy on here. The accuracy I used just so that I can keep letting that decrease attack. I think you might need it for the artifact, but I'm not 100% sure. But I know it worked out doing that. So you're going to definitely need to farm some epic gear. You're going to need your 2 damage dealers booked out at the minimum. Your adventurer should be booked out anyways. My tank here, as you can see, he's not booked out. With him, I just focused on pushing tons of HP. We got 40k HP, got almost 1,000 added defense, so that helped out a lot. I do have this artifact, Troll's Heart, gives him some defense, gives him extra HP. I use the set to get the extra defense and HP on there. This set with accuracy resistance, it's not really too big of a deal. Mainly we're looking at the HP on the chest, defense on the boot, gloves. That way you can pump those stats up. As far as these go, I just used what I had, get them up to level 12 just to get the extra stats. Actually, when I first started running this, I had him at 90 and he was surviving just fine. He was actually already good to go. I don't really think I needed to level him all the way up, but I ran a lot of Goblin yesterday, so I went ahead and pushed him up to 99 since I had enough to get my DPS up to 100. So that way it just makes it a little bit easier. Dane, I've been running him at 100 from the beginning, and then our last one is Hexandra, got her at 80. I use the enlightenment artifact, not even leveled up, get the little extra healing because her healing helps with the lightning. And then I just focused on pumping up her HP and defense as well. Definitely HP chest, definitely HP gloves. And then I use the sets to try to get the extra HP defense. The gloves, she's in a Predator gloves, which is for attack. However, I just didn't have any good set in any of these others. Nothing that was going to help her HP defense. And we needed the extra, so we went with that. So, like I said, originally when I started fighting this guy, I had my adventure at 100, had her at 90, 90. Initially had him at 90 and 90. And I was getting, after playing around my gear, to where I could survive, but I could not get the damage. So then I pumped Dane up to 100. Still, same problem. I was getting him down to the dragon stage, like half health. Couldn't finish it for the life of me. And that's with him having already been booked and everything. So I knew I needed another damage dealer. Then I had someone else in my team. I was originally using him in my team at 90. Just wasn't getting damage, so I replaced him with her. Played around my positioning so I could get her to stay alive. At level 90, she still wasn't surviving. So I leveled her up, got her to 100, got her geared out appropriately so she would survive. So we do still attack and attack, but then I looked for these defense and HP sub stats on her so I could crank her up. And then these two, probably not the best gear to get to 16. It's not a great combination of stats to what it does, but I needed it at 16 so I could get the extra HP. Then she started surviving. I was getting my damage, but I still couldn't kill him. So then I went and booked these out because I had the books. I didn't want to use them on her. I'd saving them for someone else, but I went ahead and used it, and that really made the difference getting the damage on there. So guys, when you're going to the purple dragon, these people are replaceable depending on what you have. The main cornerstones that everyone's going to have, you got this guy as a tank. He's a free tank. He works good. He can be replaced with any other tank as long as they're surviving. Your adventurer on ice shield, everyone's going to have him, put him in ice, pump up his attack a bit. He does crazy damage in there while keeping everyone alive with a shield, combined with Hexandra, your free healer. She, of course, if any of you pulled some other better healers, you can use them, but Hexandra works as a great healer. She's easy to book because she's rare, so you probably already have the books. So as far as those three go, everyone should be able to have them. Sorry, not him. Tank, adventurer, Hexandra, you should be able to have them. The last two, which you can interchange depending on what you pull, are your two damage dealers. The main things when you get your damage dealers that you want to look for is, number one, you're going to have to pump up their attack as much as possible, but you need them to survive. So substats with survivability still good. You're going to want to book your damage dealers to get all the extra damage you can and cycle through their ultimates. But you do need someone who's going to be able to target the golem that gives the boss invincibility, because that's what slows you down the most. So I said with her, I had her positioned to where this could hit the golems. If you have another damage dealer, you can move them around your tank, whichever spot you need them to be in, as long as they can reach the golem that gives invincibility to take him out and keep your time down. But anyways, guys, that's really all I had for you. I just wanted to show that real quick, because we can do a quick little 5 purple summon. I always tell everyone, look, I'm not spending my gold heliite until the new season starts and the new game starts. So if you guys want to follow me during this little closed beta, I'm only using rares and epics. That's it. Now that I beat the main boss, I'm gonna start playing around with some other teams. Right now I want to build up an ice team, start maybe looking at my dungeons so I can make some guides on the dungeons to help people out. And even then, these aren't really super in-depth guides. Really all it is I'm having fun playing the game, and I want to show you guys what I've been able to work on. That way, if it can help any of you out, maybe you can get a little further in the game too. That's all I got for you guys. Have a good one. Thanks for your time.